Right. To look at your calendar of activities in Eve, you have three options to first access the calendar. Firstly, you can go to Calendar in the module view here. Secondly, you can go to View from the top of the screen within Eve and then select Calendar. Or thirdly, and perhaps most commonly, from the little calendar icon here underneath your store name. By default, what appears on the calendar is what you have either saved as your default settings or what you have last had as your settings. And it's important now to go through these settings so that you can customize the calendar to see exactly the information that you need to at any time, whether during staff meetings for staff purposes or whether when you have customers in front of you wanting to sign up for classes, courses and trips. By default, Eve will show the current month. You can, however, of course, from this drop down here, select other months of the year. You can indeed select other years. Also, you will see using these left and right arrows, you can move backwards and forwards as so. You can always return, of course, to this month by simply hitting the This Month button. The little icons and shortcuts that you see down here give you an indication about what information Eve can be configured to show on the calendar. When the buttons are live and bright, that will mean that courses are being shown. You can see now, because I clicked that and the courses button was grayed out, the courses have disappeared. You can also see trips, staff schedules, hours worked, tasks, contact calls that need to be made, and resort reservations and room bookings should you be using those aspects of Eve. Also, if we go to the settings button, that will then bring up the general settings, the course settings, the trip settings, staff schedules, hours worked, etc., insofar as how you would like things to be displayed. Currently on the general settings here, you can see that I have selected to have all of courses all the way through to resort reservations selected. The height has been scaled to fit the screen, though you could make a fixed height likewise with the width. And as far as the boxes are concerned, which in this case is each module, I have set a height of 16 and a point size of font size of 8. You can, of course, change those as you wish. If we take a look at this day views aspect, currently it's set to 0. If I increase that to 1, and then I'm just going to hit apply for a moment, and then you will see that to the right of the screen I now have a day view, which will allow the particular day that I'm currently looking at to show in a simple day view to the right of the screen. Returning to those settings, I can of course adjust the width of those day views. You'll also notice here that the time periods within this day view, you'll see if you watch the mouse now that these are split into 30-minute periods, can be selected to anything from 5 to 30 via 10, 15 and 20 minutes. Start of the week, whenever is the start day of the week that you would care to show, you can select. If I move to courses, within each caption, do I want to show all of the course type, the course name, the module name, staff members, location, places available, places taken, time and customer information? Whichever and whatever you choose, the key point is to remember that it is on this Courses tab of the settings that you select what it is you would like to see as and when you scroll over each of the aspects that is on your calendar. For courses, you can also select, should you wish, either just start date only rather than all the other modules, or those courses where there is at least one enrollment. Similarly, as far as completion is concerned, you can show all courses, incomplete, complete, cancelled, as you wish. For the colour change to take place on courses, you can decide whether that colour change is via course type, number, staff member, etc. You can also select, as I move to the right of this, whether you wish to have all course types shown or particular course types, whether you wish to have all staff members shown or particular staff members, and whether you wish to have all teaching locations shown or particular teaching locations. Similar options are available on the Trips tab with regard to what to include within a caption, how colour changes should work, whether to show all trips or the various other statuses of trips, and whether to show all destinations, boats, staff members, or particular destinations, boats, and staff members. Again, those same options are available with regard to staff schedules as to what you might wish to see, how to work the colour changes, and whether that information should be tightened down further by particular staff members and particular locations. And of course, those also apply for tasks, hours worked, and contact calls, so that it is possible through the selections that you make on each of these tabs at the top of the settings for you to see all aspects by particular staff members, all aspects of particular course types, all aspects of particular destinations, all aspects of particular contact calls and actions to follow up, etc. i.e. you have full flexibility over all of the ways that you can interact with your calendar. Now, whatever you've chosen for a particular time, you can then click the Apply button, and that will take those settings, and you will now be seeing those settings with the numbers of day views that you wish on the screen. You can, if you go down to the star that you see here, always return these to either retrieve initial defaults, or you could save this calendar view that you have just worked on as a particular default. And for example, when I click that Save Default As, I could save that as a particular staff member name, or I could save that as a particular course type, or I could save that as a particular boat, so that at any time I could always, by going back to the star button at the bottom left of the screen, retrieve those defaults and simply see, as per those examples, the calendar for a staff member, or the calendar for a boat, or the calendar of certain course types. So do work your way through the settings that are possible for you on your calendar and make sure that you have Eve configured to show you what you wish. And by that show you what you wish, you'll note that as I scroll over a particular area of the calendar and the cursor stays in a moment, I will now see, according to the settings that I have set, that there is a module of the Open Water program taking place on that date at that location with those staff members, how many places are available and how many places taken. And the reason Eve is showing me all of that is because that's what I selected on the settings within the calendar.